Of the resurrection of Christ and the spiritual consolation of the soul. I have risen, and I am still with thee. Alleluia. It is the word of Christ to the Church, and to every faithful soul overwhelmed with sorrow for his passion, and, as it were, deprived of all comfort. Christ then rising from the dead addresses her in the Spirit, with the joyous greeting of his mouth. He most lovingly consoles her, saying, I have risen, and I am still with thee. I have not forgotten thee, but mindful of my promise, as a most victorious conqueror of death, I appear to thee, and announce to thee the joys of everlasting bliss, so that thou mayest rejoice with me in the ineffable glory of the resurrection, which I have received, because I am never to lose it, nor to die again. Yesterday indeed thou didst grieve and weep much for my passion, but now weep no more, for I have risen indeed, and I am still with thee in the presence of Majesty, who suffered from the weakness of the flesh. Now I am crowned with a higher glory, and clothed with the light of immortality, who the day before yesterday hung upon the cross, condemned to a most disgraceful death. For 3 days I lay in the tomb, but now I live, saith the Lord thy Redeemer, and thou shalt live because of me. This day I have risen from the dead by the glory of the Father, and thou shalt rise on the last day with my elect, raised from the tomb by the power of God, and to be crowned according to thy deserts. Sing therefore in the voice of exultation, and with great thanksgiving offer devout canticles of praise, singing, Alleluia, and raising thyself to the heavenly feasts. With heart and voice together rejoice, O daughter of Sion, for the hour of temporal sorrow has passed, and the day of endless joy has returned, the hope of thy glory to come. Let the Jews be sad, who crucified me. Let the Gentiles be confounded, who mocked me. Let all those who fear, who would not believe in me. But let the faithful rejoice, who love me. Let all the people be comforted, who, hearing my passion, grieved and wept. Let the disciples draw near me, who were scattered and fled, and abandoned me amid my torments. Let the humble and devout come to me. Let the priests go before, and the ministers clothed in white. Let all Christians approach my table with supreme reverence. And let all the nations celebrate this day of Easter on which I rose. For I am the resurrection and the life. I am the living bread coming down from heaven, who give life to the world. I am the good shepherd, who feed my sheep, simple and obedient, forsaking their own will and following mine in all things. I am the hidden manna, the joy of angels, the Pasch of Christians, the happiness of the saints, rejoicing the angels with unveiled vision, and communicating men on earth with my sacrament. Be not therefore troubled, as if despised in the world. Be not saddened, as though forsaken of God. Be not afraid, as one besieged by enemies. I have not, and will not abandon thee. I have not, and will not cast thee off. But in much I will prove thee, and by diverse trials will lead thee, and as gold in the fire I will try thee and cleanse thee. And in time of distress I will appear to thee, and comfort thee by my presence, pouring in the grace of devotion, first giving thee to drink of the wine of compunction, then anointing with the oil of gladness, that thou mayest shed tears, and experience wondrous sweetness, and be wholly on fire and melted. Thus will I console them that mourn for me in this valley of tears, who turn away from trifles, and turn to their interior. I have care of thee, and my eyes are upon my faithful, that they may sit with me in the kingdom of my Father, and see my glory, which I have had from eternity, and have prepared for my friends. I will give them a full wage, when they also rise from the dead, glorious and incorrupt. Therefore was it that I endured death, routed hell, overcame the devil, delivered the holy fathers from limbo, opened the gates of paradise, that I might bring all my elect into everlasting bliss. But do not think thyself parted from this joy, or a stranger to the happy fellowship of the saints, for, although thou art still encompassed by mortality, and livest in the midst of temptations, nevertheless, later thou shalt enjoy my vision, if thou abidest faithful and constant, following my footsteps even to the end. As I also continue in the love of my Father, obedient even to death. Be therefore strong in temptation, and patient in every tribulation, that thou mayest be a fellow of my eternal glory, nor give up hope, whatever danger threatens, or however much all human comfort is withdrawn. I am not wont to pass by the sad, or to spurn him who prays, but graciously to hear him who calls to me with groaning. I try him who struggles, I will crown him who perseveres. I suffer my beloved to be tried a while, and when he least thinks of it, or deems himself unworthy of any comfort, of a sudden I appear and illumine him unaware. Thus I did with my disciples, and with the dear visitors of my holy sepulchre, for they were in great sadness, they lost all hope, they knew of no comfort, they could not tell of what to do, or whither to go. Nothing was more dear to them meanwhile than to weep bitterly, and often to seek, whether they could learn anything concerning me. But when all help of man failed, at once the help of God was there. And it befell them much more happily than they could have imagined, for I made my angels go before to tell them good news, that they may not remain inconsolate too long, but that, roused to the hope of life, they might look for the King of glory. I delayed therefore to appear at once, that their desire of seeking me might grow, and they became more purified to see me, thereby to rejoice more abundantly when I should be seen, embrace me more devoutly, and worship with greater reverence. I knew the time and the manner to comfort the sad, and how much the minds of mortal men could hold. I did not therefore despise the desires of the pious, nor reject the grief of the afflicted, but I tried their faith, instructed their ignorance, strengthened their weakness, enkindled their love, cast out their fear. And so by weeping, praying, seeking, knocking, persevering, they merited to behold him whom they desired. And I fulfilled the word which I foretold, that I will see you again, and your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man shall take from you. Thou therefore, hearing this, prepare thee for the grace of devotion. Wait patiently until I come, and again I will visit thy heart, freeing thee from all distress, and bring thee to a state of new exaltation. Then thou shalt be able to sing psalms with joy, and to know by experience how true and pleasant is that introit, I have risen, and I am still with thee. Alleluia.